Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
A new era in college football begins tonight at UNC. We are live in Chapel Hill with the pregame action.
Plus, leadership shakeup. The interim president of St. Augustine's University has resigned. What's next for the troubled HBCU?
And today marks 3 weeks until the official start to fall. It feels like it out there. I'll have your game time forecast coming up in just a little bit.
It is the countdown to kickoff. We are 8 hours away from Bill Belichick's big debut as head coach at UNC. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Chris Levigan. Thank you so much for joining us. The Tar Heels have not won an ACC title in more than 50 years, but fans hope this is the dawn of a new era.
WRAL's Eric Miller is live on campus where the university is setting up for the pregame celebration. Eric.
Hi, Renee, if you think you have been here for a game day in Chapel Hill before, well, I'm here to tell you, no, you haven't. This is something completely different this year, and a huge part of that right here behind us. This is the Chapel Thrill Concert Series stage. This is something that is going to be happening all through the football season this year. And today, we're kicking things off with Chase Rice. He is going to be out here about 2 hours before the game kicks off. A concert for students, for fans, anybody who happens to be wandering by. And this is just one small part of what the university is doing here to celebrate the start of the Bill Belichick era. You pan around, you can see we've got tents going up all over the place here outside of the Wilson Library. This one of 4 different places on campus that they're currently setting up for tailgaters to celebrate the start of UNC's football season. There'll also be the return, of course, many old traditions later this afternoon. The old well walk, that'll be kicking off 2.5 hours before kickoff. And, of course, alumni will be over there at the bell tower climbing all of those stairs. So there is a little bit of old, a lot of new, and a lot of excitement here on campus as well. Talking to students here this morning, I've heard a lot of people saying, man, why haven't we been doing this for years? We'll see if the game lives up to all the hype. But right now, folks out here having a great time. In Chapel Hill, Eric Miller, WRAL News.
But now they have Chapel Bill. We have fantastic football weather on tap as well. Meteorologist Chris Michaels tells us what the temperature should be like at kickoff.
Yeah, 67 degrees at kickoff. I mean, you can't ask for much better, especially this time of year. Low humidity, that is perfect football weather there at 8 p.m. Out the door right now, the muggy meter right where you want it to be. The dew point in the 50s means it feels nice and comfortable out there. We've got plenty of sunshine and no reason to think that there's any sort of rain in the forecast. So, again, great news for Tar Heel fans this evening. Durham and Raleigh at 73, Fayetteville, Clinton, and Rocky Mount 75. All of us on the same playing field as we make our way through midday. Might be nice for some lunch outside there at Fenton and Cary. It looks like plenty of folks enjoying the day, and why not? Nice breeze out there. For the rest of the afternoon, 76 at 1 p.m. By 4 p.m., 79, maybe firing up the grill, and by 7 p.m., if it's a late dinner for you, nice in the mid-70s. And then out the door tomorrow morning, we're in the 50s with highs in the 70s again tomorrow afternoon. But some changes in the forecast data, meaning changes in the weekend forecasts. I'll show you when summer tries to make a comeback coming up.
Chris, thank you. WRAL will have complete team coverage of Coach Belichick's first collegiate game tonight at UNC across all of our platforms.
Another shakeup at St. Aug's. The interim president, Marcus Burgess, decided to step down for personal reasons, according to the university. And as the university continues to struggle to stay afloat, we have WRAL's Sean Gallagher joining us live with this story on what this means moving forward, Sean.
Yeah, Chris, the school's interim provost and vice president of student academic affairs will take over those administrative responsibilities, but it leaves a lot of questions about the struggling HBCU, how it'll move forward. And oh yeah, students expected back here starting tomorrow. Added to the list of issues facing the HBCU, St. Aug's, millions of dollars in debt. It lost its accreditation back in 2023, though it has gained that back. And its board of trustees faces intense scrutiny related to finances, with the former board chair stepping down earlier this year into a different role. And the group Save SAU Coalition wants a clean slate here with new leadership from top to bottom.
You know, it's musical chairs on the Titanic. And
Getting you a look live outside right now at Goldsboro. Looking pretty nice here. A little cloud coverage, but it looks like the skies are pretty blue. As you're watching WRAL News, available on Spectrum and the WRAL app on your TV or your streaming device.
New concerns and confusion about who can get a COVID shot and where now that kids have started the school year and cases begin to tick up. NBC's Marissa Para reports.
As new COVID cases are rising across the country, hospitals are starting to feel the impact. But new guidance over who can get the COVID vaccine is causing confusion.
It should not be this hard. I should not have to go to this much time and effort simply to get a vaccine to keep me from getting ill.
Last week, the FDA narrowed approvals for the COVID vaccine to adults 65 and over, or younger people who have an underlying health condition. A big change under the leadership of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the Health and Human Services Secretary under the Trump administration.
The FDA's decision does not affect the availability of COVID vaccines for Americans who want them.
CVS says its locations will require a COVID vaccine prescription in 13 states plus D.C. They won't administer any COVID vaccines for now in 3 states, but will offer them in the rest of the country for those who qualify. Meanwhile, Walgreens, not offering specific details, says it's, quote, prepared to offer the vaccine in states where we are able to do so. The COVID vaccine shakeup amid turmoil at the CDC. The agency's director abruptly fired last Thursday by Kennedy, a vocal vaccine skeptic, with 4 senior officials resigning in protest, citing ideological interference.
That's the end of what I can do as a physician who said that first I would do no harm.
The American Academy of Pediatrics calling the new vaccine limitations, quote, deeply troubling, insisting broader vaccination is needed for kids even without a secondary condition.
53% of those children hospitalized last season had no underlying conditions.
The mixed messaging untimely as the school year and the battle over these vaccines is just beginning. Marissa Para, NBC News.
CDC employees in Atlanta must return to the office in 2 weeks. The staff's been working from home since a deadly shooting on August 8th. Employees whose work areas were directly affected will be assigned an alternate area to work. The shooter killed 33-year-old police officer David Rose. Patrick White reportedly blamed the COVID-19 vaccine for making him depressed and suicidal.
50 people are out of their homes because of this large fire at an apartment complex in Wayne County. This happened yesterday afternoon in the Rosewood community off Highway 70. 3 people were sent to the hospital. WRAL spoke with people who are now left with only what they could grab before escaping the fire. Despite the flames taking so much from so many people, many are remaining hopeful.
We should be more grateful for the things that we have, because you can lose everything from one moment to another moment.
Devastated, but I'm trusting God 100%. Trusting God.
What a mindset. The Red Cross is helping those who lost their homes. Investigators are looking into what caused the fire.
At Mount Etna in Italy, a mountain rescue team and authorized guides are needed to protect visitors. Because of this, regulations require tourists to stay at least 160 feet from the lava. It's basically forbidden for tourists to climb the volcano above 8,000 feet without an authorized alpine guide. Europe's highest active volcano erupts several times a year. And you know what? This got us thinking, would you pay to scale an active volcano? Genuinely curious. Share your voice right now by scanning that QR code on your screen, or you can head to WRAL.com/yourvoice. We'll share the results before the end of this newscast. Really interested to see what people vote on.
Tonight, more than $1 billion could be yours. The jackpot is the 5th biggest ever, $1.1 billion. There has not been a winner of the Powerball jackpot since May, so it is time. If you win and you choose the lump sum payout, you would get nearly $500 million. You can watch the drawing tonight on WRAL right before our 11 o'clock news. $500 million, you could probably retire.
Look, if I'm not here
probably.
If I'm not here tomorrow, it doesn't mean it doesn't mean I won. It just means I'm sick. Anyway, we have Chris Michaels right now giving us your weather forecast today. I kind of feel like we all kind of won with the lottery with how today has been weather-wise.
Definitely, yeah. And that ragweed pollen seems to be getting to you, buddy. I'm concerned about that cough. August was the coolest since 1992 and the 6th coolest on record. And we're kind of starting out September in the same vein. Earlier this morning, morning, a lot of us were in the low to mid 50s. Roxborough was in the upper 40s, but now a lot of us in the low to mid 70s. Dew points in the 50s. So what that means is that there's not a whole lot of moisture in the air. It feels comfortable, not exactly muggy, and it looks nice too from our WRAL Garner Tower. A similar feel today as to what we had out there yesterday in terms of our afternoon temperatures. Raleigh 79, that's also the case in Goldsboro, Fayetteville 81, Lewisburg, South Hill 77 degrees. And yeah, really nice evening for some football. UNC playing host to TCU. Very highly anticipated game. We'll have coverage all throughout the day. 8 p.m. kickoff temperatures will be in the mid to upper 60s. And just like the past few mornings, temperatures will continue to cool off pretty nicely. Consider these your bus stop temperatures for tomorrow. Rocky Mount, Sanford, Southern Pines, Durham at 55 degrees, Roxborough at 51. So might be nice to have an extra layer on hand, but you can peel away at those pretty quickly as we go throughout the day. So the lower humidity is part of what gives us our cooler mornings, but that starts to change a little bit heading toward Thursday, heading toward Friday as well. And it has to do with the air ahead of this front. So by Thursday, we start to pick up a little bit of moisture out of the Atlantic, enough for some scattered late day showers and storms. That could also be the case heading into Sunday. But here's what's different about this front. Earlier data showed it just kind of clearing through. We'd get cooler, we'd get less humid. But now the wind that pushes that front is just locked up toward the north. So instead, actually looks like we're going to warm up heading into the weekend. So if you're planning on hitting up the pool, if it's still open and it still feels comfortable enough, Thursday and Sunday, we'll just put the caution light on as we may see a few storms. Friday and Saturday warming up. In fact, Saturday has the potential to reach 90 degrees. On average, your last 90-degree day is September the 12th. So it is certainly within the realm of possibility this time of year. Still, it's just we've been treated to some really nice, cool, comfortable weather. And we will be over the course of the next 2 to 3 days. Monday, today through Wednesday, high temperatures, upper 70s, lower 80s. Out the door the next couple of mornings will be in the mid to upper 50s. Keep in mind, our average low this time of year is 67. So by Friday morning, that's where we should be. And then high temperatures make it into the mid to upper 80s Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, keeping it pretty warm into the upcoming weekend as well. But nothing extreme, just still a reminder that officially it is still summer out there.
But still no 90s, not yet anyway. Thanks, Chris. The Belichick era begins tonight. We are counting down the hours until his first game with the UNC Tar Heels against Texas Christian University. From the new Chapel Thrill concert series to celebrity guests attending, we will be bringing you team coverage starting at 4 p.m. right here on WRAL.
And riding with the good Lord. That's what the Dunn fire chief says he was doing when he was involved in a crash. Today on WRAL News at 5:30, what we're learning about what happened. TikTok messaging, the new changes that allow users to communicate directly to each other through the app.
And a record season. We are just days away from the start of the NFL season, and the league is on the verge of setting a record.
Drinks, food, even soap were all recalled recently for serious safety risks. 5 on your side's Ashley Rowe shows you the products to look for and get rid of in your home.
This instant coffee may contain glass. These 8-ounce containers of Clover Valley instant coffee were sold at Dollar General stores in North Carolina in July. Dollar General is investigating the source of the glass and told customers they can get a full refund for recalled jars. Members mark freeze-dried fruit variety packs from Sam's Club are being recalled for listeria contamination. So far, no one has reported being sick. You can return those variety packs to Sam's Club for a refund. Finally, hand soap has been recalled because of potentially life-threatening bacteria. 4 different kinds of soap and skincare products made by Dermarite Industries are affected. Testing found BCC, which is a large group of bacteria that's particularly dangerous for people with weakened immune systems or chronic lung disease.
More critical recalls are coming up on WRAL News this evening, including an important safety warning involving one of the hottest toys of 2025. Ashley Rowe, 5 on your side.
Costco's new shopping policy will officially take effect today. So back in June, Costco introduced earlier shopping hours exclusive to people with executive memberships. They can shop starting at 9 a.m. Everyone else can start at 10 a.m. to shop, which is Costco's normal start time. Costco says that hadn't been enforced all summer. So starting today, it will enforce that only executive members get early access to its stores. A standard Costco membership is $65 per year. An executive membership is $130 per year. TikTok is reportedly rolling out new features in the next few weeks that puts the app in direct competition with Messenger and Snapchat. Users will soon have the ability to send voice notes, images, and videos in direct messages or group chats. TikTok's voice notes will have 1-minute limits. Users will also be able to send up to 9 images or videos from their camera roll in a DM or in a group chat.
Ready to huddle. The highly anticipated kickoff of the Tar Heel football season is just hours away, which is why we're going to head out to Chapel Hill for another live report from campus.
It's National Recovery Month. Today marks the beginning of a national awareness campaign. How specialists plan to reduce stigma and offer support to those battling substance use disorder. And here's a look at the winning lottery numbers.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
All right, so there's a different Monday Night Football tonight. UNC takes on TCU for the debut of Chapel Hill Bill. That's Bill Belichick, as you know.
It's all just 7.5 hours away. WRAL's Eric Miller is live near Wilson Library, where an army of crews is setting up for all the pregame activities. Eric.
Renee, Army is exactly the right word because we have got a major military operation happening on just about every quad out here at UNC. If there is a spare patch of ground, you can bet there is a tailgate tent sitting on it right now as the university goes all out for the debut of Bill Belichick as the coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels. You take a look at this video here, you can see it's not just around the bell tower, it's also out front of Wilson Library, the stage set up there for the brand new Chapel Thrill concert series. This concert series is going to kick off before every game throughout the season, but they're starting tonight with Chase Rice. He's going to be taking the stage right around 6, 2 hours before kickoff here. For fans, this has been a major upgrade to the pregame experience. Just take a listen to what one lifelong UNC booster had to say.
I haven't seen it like this before. I haven't seen the setup out here like this on this part of campus at all, and I think they need more of it. Let's make the campus more active, bring more activities, bring more people out. We need a football environment that rivals schools in the local area like Clemson, like South Carolina, like NC State.
Yeah, we've heard from a lot of folks who looked around here today and said, man, we should have been doing this every single year. And, of course, just because UNC has added more tailgating spots, added that new concert series, doesn't mean they're not still doing a lot of those old traditions. The Well Walk, that's going to be happening 2.5 hours before kickoff. And, of course, alumni will be climbing the stairs here at the bell tower as well. A little bit of the tradition to mix in with the brand new festivities out here at UNC Chapel Hill. On campus, Eric Miller, WRAL News.
Now's a good time to start new traditions. Coach Belichick is just one of several changes UNC has made as it prepares for a new era of college athletics. UNC has hired an athletics director in waiting. Steve Newmark is a former NASCAR team executive with deep ties to Chapel Hill. Newmark promises UNC will not be adorned with sponsor logos like a NASCAR driver. But he and the Tar Heels are looking for every last bit of new revenue that they can find as their annual athletics budget approaches $200 million. Newmark will have to make big decisions over his first 5-year contract. How to handle Belichick and the football program, renovate the Smith Center, or build a new basketball arena elsewhere, perhaps off the main campus. And should UNC look to leave the ACC in the near future? For more on Newmark and current athletics director Bubba Cunningham's new role, go to WRAL.com. WRAL will have complete team coverage of Coach Belichick's first collegiate game tonight at UNC across all of our platforms.
The NFL regular season kicks off Thursday night, and for the first time in league history, a record 16 black quarterbacks will start in week 1. That breaks the previous record of 15 set in 2024. Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts made history in Super Bowl 57 in 2023. That was the first time 2 black quarterbacks started the game. The Chiefs defeated the Eagles, but the Eagles would reverse the tide in Super Bowl 59, dominating the Chiefs 40-22. The reigning Super Bowl champion Eagles will host division rival Dallas in the first live action of the season there. So pretty exciting.
Caught on video, a former Enloe High School football star who's now in college at West Point helped rescue a man from a crash car just before it burst into flames. Take a look.
Not Larry! Come on! Come on, get him out!
And he got him out. This happened in Fort Montgomery, New York, early yesterday morning. 20-year-old Larry Pickett Jr. ran towards the car right after it crashed. He helped pull that disoriented man from the car, which caught fire seconds later. We spoke with Pickett's father about what happened. He says helping people is second nature for his son.
I remember right before we brought him to West Point, he actually chased down somebody that was shoplifting from a store in Raleigh. And it was like, LJ, that's dangerous. Like, you don't know what he could have had on him. It's just his instinct to be there and to help people. And obviously his training at West Point, he did mention that. He said that he remembered, some of his training at West Point. But no, he did not flinch. He didn't delay. He sprung right into action.
Mr. Pickett, you raised a brave young man. Pickett's father says he doesn't know how the man who crashed that car is doing, but it did not appear that his injuries were serious. West Point responded to the video, saying it is proud of Pickett Jr.'s heroic actions.
Millions of Americans are affected by alcohol and drug addiction. Advocates are raising awareness of National Recovery Month and how to recognize and support people as they heal. Marianne Rafferty explains how experts are using this month to educate the public on treatments and reduce stigma.
September marks National Recovery Month.
It's a season of hope.
A time medical professionals say is meant to raise awareness for people in recovery from substance use disorder and the progress they made along their healing journeys.
It's a time to recognize and remember the millions of people in recovery.
According to the latest data from the 2023 U.S. National Survey on Drug Use and Health, more than 48 million Americans ages 12 and older reported battling a substance use disorder in the past year. Analysts also found 7.5 million Americans 12 and older struggled with both alcohol and drug use disorders at the same time.
When people are struggling with alcohol and substance use disorders, they often find that it breaks apart relationships or that it separates them from things that made their life meaningful. And so to me, that's what recovery is. It's restoring meaning in your life.
Health experts cite a variety of methods that can help assist with recovery.
Whether it's connecting with other people in recovery through groups like AA or NA or Smart Recovery, whether it's seeking professional counseling or even medications. We know that there are many medications now that can help a person stop using alcohol or substances and claim their life back.
Advocates say it's important to end stigma surrounding addiction and encourage those in need to seek help.
The national hotline is 1-800-662-HELP. So if you or a loved one is looking for help with a recovery, please give them a call and find help near you.
That was Marianne Rafferty reporting. National Recovery Month started in 1989, and this year's theme is Recovery is Real, restoring every aspect of life.
Well, happening now here in the WRAL Live Center, a protest just wrapped up here in the Bull City this afternoon. Community members, labor advocates, as well as everyday workers in the Bull City coming together to demand for better wages. We were talking about employees at Duke University, as well as a coalition called Durham Rising. They're out there saying that they're there to demand an end to the billionaire takeover of government and the attacks on working people. At the rally, we saw labor and community members mobilizing really trying to denounce what they call the billionaire agenda, including assaults on union members, collectives, bargaining rights, as well as the massive cuts that we're seeing to health care and food assistance.
Thanks, Laura. Skipping breakfast? The new research that shows it could be bad for your bones.
Plus, mold dangers. Why autumn is just as important as spring for a deep clean of your home. The areas you really need to tackle. And hey, just a reminder, you can watch WRAL News live anytime on WRAL.com or the WRAL app on your streaming device. So Labor Day is often called the unofficial end to summer. Well, this year, it falls on the start of meteorological fall. I have to say that word super slow every time.
I know. And we could say meteorologist, but meteorological.
Yes.
It's just really hard to say. Chris Michaels, who's showing us what that is.
Right, so the autumn equinox is what we all learned about in school, and that changes from year to year, right? So this time around, it's on September 22nd, so 3 weeks from today, and that's when the sun center passes right over the equator, so you see roughly equal daylight and nighttime. But these meteorological seasons, we use them for a couple different reasons, and one of which is the convenience of it, right? So the consistency is that it starts and ends on the same day each year. So for instance, meteorological fall, that is hard to say, September 1st through November the 30th, but it's also a clear-cut trend in temperatures going downward. So for instance, the average low today is 67, the average high is 86, but you fast forward to October the 1st and you see how that changes very quickly. Now, speaking of changes, this is how fall has changed over the past 5+ decades. According to Climate Central, they say that we see 12 more days of above average warmth now than we saw in 1970. And coming up in my forecast, I'll show you if we get close to above average warmth in this 7-day forecast. It's coming up in just a bit.
Happening now here in the WRAL Live Center, we're keeping our eyes on the skies, giving you an update on how travel conditions are. As we know, many people are heading back into town from their Labor Day vacation. Right now, we're seeing 31 delays at RDU, only 1 cancellation. But if we take a look here at the misery map, taking a wider look at what's happening across the country, the major delays are coming from Dallas right now. And that's because in Texas, we saw some really tragic flooding, some terrible conditions there with the weather. So, of course, we're going to keep you updated on the travel conditions, especially throughout the day, as again, many people heading back into town.
Laura, thanks. Fight fall allergies. A doctor offers key takeaways to keep your home clean from outdoor allergens.
And activate dad instincts. 2 men jump into action after spotting a boy on an elevated monorail. And this wasn't the first emergency at that same amusement park.
His dad instincts kicked in. That's how a man described a rescue at Hershey Park. Terrifying video shows the child walking on the elevated monorail track. That's about 100 feet off the ground. The boy's parents reported him missing just after 5 o'clock Saturday. And according to park officials, the child entered a secured area at the close station and climbed onto that elevated track. So someone noticed him and climbed up a nearby building, then jumped onto the track where he safely retrieved the child.
Absolute relief. And even I could feel it in him, the relief. As soon as he got into my arms, and thank goodness he came straight into my arms, and it went nice and simply in that sense.
What a good Samaritan. The monorail was not running at the time of the incident. And just over a month ago, a 9-year-old girl drowned in the wave pool at Hershey Park in a death that was ultimately ruled accidental.
Skipping breakfast increases the risk of osteoporosis and broken bones by 18%. According to researchers, people who skipped early meals had lower vitamin D and calcium levels. Eating a late dinner increased the risk of osteoporosis by 8%, and those who did both saw a 23% jump in the risk. The shingles vaccine could help protect Americans from heart disease. Researchers say data from 9 previous studies showed the vaccine cut the risk of heart attack, stroke, or even other heart-related diseases by 18% among adults 18 and up. But most of the studies were observational, so their data does not prove a direct link between getting the shot and a lower risk for heart disease.
Spring isn't the only season for deep cleaning. In fact, doctors say fall is the perfect time to tidy up, especially if you have allergies. Remember to frequently wash your bedding and consider using desk mite covers as an extra layer. Change your filters before turning on the heat. Cleaning mold in the home can go a long way when it comes to easing allergy symptoms.
I ask families to focus on their kitchens, their bathrooms, their basements, anywhere that there can be standing water, because those areas can actually harbor mold.
It is also a good idea to see an allergist to help identify exactly what you're allergic to and to explore more treatment options.
Just did my deep cleaning last weekend.
Oh, good for
Shampooing, vacuuming.
Okay.
Now it's time to decorate.
All right, just adding that to my to-do list. That's right, we were talking about decorating all the fall stuff, because it feels like fall right now.
And Chris, it's definitely the time to bust out the candles because fall's approaching.
It definitely is. It feels like it, right? Especially this morning. We woke up to temperatures in the low to mid 50s, and now you've just got that beautiful sky. The camera actually shaking a little bit in the breeze outside the legislative building. But yeah, those fair weather, puffy cumulus clouds just decorating the sky on this Labor Day. Roxborough, you're up to 73. Fayetteville and Rocky Mount, 75 degrees. Cary, Holly Springs at 74, all of us pretty much feeling the same. And the humidity has been the big ticker here, the drop in humidity, I should say. And a lot of that has to do with high pressure to the north. You see how the flow around it is clockwise, so that means it's coming in from the maritime provinces in Canada, New England, so that's your cooler, drier air, your below average temperatures, and it's also helping to suppress any rain. So our Labor Day, you can't ask for much better than what we've got out there right now. Temperatures this afternoon, they'll reach the upper 70s if you're doing a little bit of grilling, maybe having dinner outside. It's really, again, the perfect evening for that. And then by 8 p.m., 9 p.m., that's when temperatures start to fall into the 60s. And yeah, we got to go back to work and school tomorrow morning. So as you're doing that, temperatures will be in the 50s, maybe just an extra layer, and you peel it off pretty quickly as we go throughout the day. But at the bus stop tomorrow, Lewisburg 54, Clinton 57, Benson 57, Roxborough at about 51 degrees. It'll be a nice, comfortable early fall feel to the morning. And I expect a little bit more of the same heading into Wednesday morning. But notice how our average high is actually, or average low, is actually 67 degrees. We're going to be closer to that by Friday and by Saturday. Let's show you some of the trends in the forecast data. It looked like initially we were going to cool off this coming weekend, but I'm changing that thinking a little bit. So Thursday, we see some scattered storms with a front that pushes through. Second front pushes that out of here. Initially, that second front was going to push through and cool things off, but now a lot of the data is showing it just off toward the west, which would indicate that would be warmer heading into the weekend. So that's the trend for now. May actually warm up more. Temperatures mid to upper 80s, potentially near 90 degrees. Now, that's not out of the realm of possibility. In fact, on average, our last 90-degree day is September the 12th, and it's happened as late as October 10th. That was back in 2017. I don't know about you guys. I don't want it happening that late because, as Chris was just saying, got to get those fall decorations out. Temperatures in the upper 70s today and tomorrow. Will be in the mid to upper 50s out the door both Tuesday and Wednesday mornings. And by Thursday is when you're going to start to notice things feeling a little different. It is still technically summer, and this weekend looks like a reminder of that. For now, forecasting highs in the mid to upper 80s.
All right, thanks, Chris. So we asked you earlier, would you pay to scale an active What is this? 14% say yes, you would? Can I interview you?
That's still rather high.
That's
don't you
very
think?
high.
I mean, 86%. I'm with you there.
All right, you tell you what, you message me and you let me know, why would you pay to scale an active volcano?
I mean, if there's any risk of, no.
Nah, it's a no for me, dog. No for me.
Same here. Kicking for a cause, why hundreds of people are putting their best foot forward. We'll be right back.
As we wrap things up, here's a look at a few of the headlines that we're following today. It's the countdown to kickoff. Tonight, Bill Belichick makes his big debut as head coach at UNC. The Tar Heels haven't won an ACC title in more than 50 years, but fans hope this is the dawn of a new era. Season kickoff is at 8. And you can count on WRAL before, during, and after the game. We'll have live team coverage of Coach Belichick's first game at UNC across all our platforms.
Another shakeup at St. Augustine's University. The interim president decided to step down for personal reasons. This comes as the university continues to struggle to stay afloat. The school's interim provost and vice president of academic affairs is taking over administrative responsibilities for now.
Tonight, more than $1 billion could be yours. The jackpot is the 5th biggest ever, $1.1 billion. Now, if you win, you could choose the lump sum payout. You'd get nearly $500 million. Not bad, not bad. You can watch the drawing tonight on WRAL right before our 11 o'clock newscast.
Today marks 40 years since explorers found the wreckage from the Titanic on the ocean floor. The Titanic sank in 1912 after hitting an iceberg. The ship broke apart and sank in the North Atlantic Ocean, killing more than 1,500 passengers and crew. A former Navy officer, along with a French oceanographer, discovered the location with the help of a deep-sea imaging system nicknamed the Argo.
Kicking for a cause. Comfy slippers soared through across a field during an annual contest in Japan. This year's winner kicked his slipper around 71 feet. This is a sport? Outstanding. Just nearly missed the all-time record of 80 feet. We're talking about 700 people. They paid the 14-cent registration fee to compete, totaling 4,425 yen, and the proceeds benefit Hospital Clown Japan. That's a nonprofit organization which supports activities for children in hospital wards. An amazing cause to do that for. So cool.
Yeah, what a fun contest. Our pet of the day comes to us from Purr Partners. Divine is a 2-year-old domestic short-hair female. Her kittens have all been adopted, and now Divine is seeking a home of her own. When not at play, this young beauty enjoys sitting in the cat tree, surveying the neighborhood. If you are looking for a loving companion, then look no further. Find more about Divine and other kitties ready for adoption at purrpartners.org. NBC News Daily is next on WRAL. Your next local news update in 30 minutes.
And just a reminder, you can get breaking news updates anytime with our WRAL News app. Hope you have a blessed day.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air channel 34 and Spectrum channel 1257.